fold it back in like this, it goes through the material inside of the pocket. If I rub this way and snap, it happens. See? I got it. That's the one from the center. See if I got it. See if you have 4 left.
Oh.
There you go. If you break it just like this, you don't get 2 quarters, you actually still get 2 halves. You can do it as often as you want.
Oh.
You can actually cause the coin to go straight to the table. Hi, we're going to cover the basics of professional coin magic in a series of layers that progress logically, with each new layer of information building on the previous. And we'll present these layers in an order that makes learning natural and fun. Gather a few coins so you can follow along with what I'll be demonstrating. If you have small hands, begin with quarters. If you have medium hands, such as I have, begin with $50. It takes a large hand to work easily with silver dollars, but it is possible, and you'll know when or if large coins will work for you. The information is divided into 3 basic sections: applications, secrets, and major secrets. We'll cover the most important, natural, yet versatile techniques in each category, spending extra time on the special knowledge that makes magic deceptive yet entertaining. Later, we'll talk about effective ways to practice, but after going all the way through the information, find 1, maybe 2 routines that you practice to perfection. Being able to perform just a few really well is more important than simply knowing how 1,000 things are done. Finally, we'll give you some sound advice that will serve you well in all sorts of situations. And now, with coins in hand, let's look at our first secrets. Magicians frequently refer to the act of hiding a coin or coins as holding out. And the ability to comfortably hold out is the most fundamental building block in coin magic. Fortunately, it's also one of the easiest to learn. The easiest and frequently most natural method of hiding a coin is called the finger palm. The coin rests at the base of the fingers, which simply curl in enough to hold the coin. This can be done with either hand and held either by the 2nd and 3rd fingers or the 3rd and 4th fingers. All fingers should taper naturally, giving the hand a soft, comfortable look. You can add to the deception by using the hands to do something else. You could even turn the palm upward while still concealing the coin. The late John Ramsey popularized the idea of holding the palms outward, giving a convincing display of an empty palm while still concealing something in the finger palm. This method of holding a coin in your palm is the classic image that comes to mind when magicians use the term palming. With practice, the hand can grip small objects between the base of the thumb and along the heel of the hand. When you find the right spot, you won't need to curl the thumb around or your little finger in to secure the object. It takes a little thoughtful examination and practice to find the spot that works best for you. But when you find it, you'll be able to hold on to the coin while still using your fingers for other things. Simply holding the fingers straight isn't deceptive. A relaxed, natural hand looks deceptive. The best way to make the classic palm look natural is to do something with the coin and the hand. Holding a coin, a pencil, a straw, use the fingers to pull back the sleeve, to snap the fingers, to make a gesture. You can even pull someone closer with the hand while holding a coin. when a spectator sees your hand occupied with something, they won't think it's possible to also be holding a coin. With experience, you'll learn what people can see and what they can't see. With holding another coin, for example, people feel as if they see inside of the empty hand. That upward flash of the palm while still concealing something that's classic palmed is known as the cap subtlety. And a more advanced application of that would be to actually flip a coin while palming another one. Quietly catching the coins on the fingers certainly implies that the hand is otherwise empty. To put a coin into classic palm, touch the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger and curl the coin into the palm with the middle and third fingers. Training yourself to keep the thumb and index finger touching will prevent the thumb from kicking out during the palming process. If you kick out your thumb as you palm, you can see that across the room and it's completely unnatural. But once you find the ideal position in your palm, practice picking a coin up, curling the fingers in, and putting the coin into palm position as you turn the hand palm up. Also, if you were to pick up several coins in a stack, you can put the bottom coin into palm position as you turn the hand palm up. Learning to put the coin into classic palm is important for a variety of reasons. One reason is because when at rest the hand actually looks more natural. The palmed coin is allowed to drop onto the curled fingers right at the tips. See, that way the hand can be truly soft, and yet when you want to move on, the coin is quickly repalmed as the hand is put to use. The thumb palm is not as versatile as the finger or classic palm because you have to occupy the thumb in order to hold the coin. Remember that holding something visible helps to camouflage a hand which is holding out. Well, it's not quite as easy to do in thumb palming, but there are times when it's useful. To place a coin into thumb palm, you can either hold the coin at the tips of the fingers and turn it over as it goes into thumb palm. Or you could slide it down the thumb with the index finger until the thumb can hold on to it. The back thumb palm is a more exotic method of hiding a coin. And while it isn't that practical or common, your hand certainly looks empty when you're using it. Getting the coin into and out of back thumb palm takes considerably more practice than those we've just covered. One way to get into position is to hold the coin so that it extends from the tip of the first finger. As you curl the fingers in, the coin goes directly into back thumb palm. To get the coin back into the hand, you'll need to flick the hand sharply, counterclockwise, as you close the hand. And the coin will land inside of the hand. I remember how delighted I was when I first learned the downs palm. My hand really looked empty, and yet I could pull a coin out of someone's ear. For the coin to be hidden, the coin should be flat, in line with the spectator's line of vision. If the spectator is taller or shorter than you, tilt the hand accordingly. If your hand is at their exact eye level, the coin should be flat to the floor, with the thumb hiding the coin from view. By touching the tip of the thumb to the tip of the first and second fingers, you could even show the front and back of the hand. If you are already moving the fingers a bit, you could also curl in the index finger over the coin as you turn the hand over this way. To put the coin into downs palm, hold the coin at the tips of the fingers. Then, clipping the coin between the first and second finger, The coin flattens out as the fingers curl in, where the coin is held between the thumb and the base of the index finger. Learn to do this as you give a little toss of the hand. Makes it seem as if the coin disappears. To reproduce the coin, the fingers curl in and clip the coin. As the fingers extend, the thumb pushes it quickly into view. So the coin disappears, ta-da, and the coin is reproduced. Arthur Buckley developed a particularly magical retrieval from the Downs palm. Instead of just pushing the coin into view with the thumb, he allowed the thumb to pivot the coin into back finger clip. The tips of the index and second finger held onto the coin, and the thumb concealed the front edge. To produce the coin, the thumb presses onto the front edge as the index finger flicks out of the way. So it looks something like this. To conclude our section on hiding coins, we're going to talk about the back clip. This particular clip, sometimes known as the Goshman pinch, is probably the most popular of the back clips, although it isn't the only method of back clipping a coin. You could also clip a coin at the front of the fingers, or you could squeeze a coin through the base of the fingers, but clipping the coin between the little and third finger seems to be the one most often used by coin manipulators. Finally, on the back clip, you can get one coin into and out of the back clip while holding another coin at the same time. Of course, some of the palms, specifically the finger, classic, and Downs palm, allow you to palm more than one coin in the same grip. This is a good exercise when developing these techniques, as it helps to strengthen muscles that you rarely use otherwise. Congratulations! These first secrets are just the tip of the iceberg, and yet you can already create some amazing magic. While the techniques that accomplish these seem simple, never underestimate the power of even the most basic magic. So here's something interesting. If I fold my pants down just like this and snap, there you go. I get a little money for my trouble. Make sure it's what it seems to be. Yep. An American $50. Of course, if I take the coin and I fold it back in like this, it goes through the material inside of the pocket. Here's a kind of interesting thing. If I place it here, even though you can see it straight through the material, boom, it comes straight through, just like that. Good job. Pretty much like any deck of cards you might have at home. Yes, sir. I'm going to have you touch two cards one at a time. There's one, and a second one. Good job. Now, it doesn't matter which cards we've got, but if you'll hold on to those, we'll check them out. Let's see, the 3 of clubs and the 5 of spades. Now, I could turn these cards over and mix them up like this, but the point is, it doesn't matter which card is where, because cards aren't for fooling people. They're for, hold out your hand for me, you see, they're for making money. If I do this, there you go. You know, I need to phone home. Would you happen to have any coins on you? No, no pocket. Oh, oh, wait a second. It's okay. I forgot. I have my phone home ink pen with me. The great thing about this is, if you'll hold on to that, all I need is the cap, because that's what I use to keep my money in. You know what's interesting about a half? Is that if you break it just like this, you don't get 2 quarters, you actually still get 2 halves. You can do it as often as you want, but that's the interesting thing about halves. Well, I thought you might appreciate something done under challenge conditions. Make sure that's what it seems to be. Here we go. I'll place that right into the middle of the handkerchief. So there's no question. Cover it up just like that. I'm going to cast, well, here, no, I'm going to make sure it's still in there. I don't want you to think I'm, okay, make sure it's still in there. I don't want you to think, okay, everybody gets a turn. Okay, there you go, still in there. Now, if I cast a shadow just like this, the magic happens. It completely disappears. It's not there, it's not, okay, now it's not in there now, right? Right in there now. If I put a little crease right there, I turn it over. Okay, all I have to, now make sure it's not in there. I don't want you to think I'm going to do any of the funny stuff while, you know, there's nothing's in there. But if I take a shadow, pass it over the coin, just like this. Voila. It comes right back. Isn't that neat?
That's neat.
Look, right there. You see, it may seem like it's invisible now, but if I push it in this ear and pull it out this ear, it becomes a $50. Wow, nice tie. Oh, look at there, tiny invisible thread. Here, let me see if, yeah, but the interesting thing is at the end of every invisible thread is a coin. There you go. Each of these effects and many more are done with the techniques for concealing coins you've just learned. Our first routine begins with one coin in finger palm and a matching coin in your right pants pocket. After calling attention to what you're going to do, shift the coin from finger palm to fingertip rest and fold that coin in along with the cloth. Do something to indicate the moment of magic. Snap your fingers, wave or rub, then dramatically pull the coin from the fold. Spend a moment letting them see the coin. Establish its presence. Then, as you seem to fold it back into the pants, pull the coin out and into the left-hand finger palm. Delay a moment, then show the coin is gone. Without delay at that point, show that the coin has traveled to the pocket. By showing where the coin is gone, they quit wondering about where it might be. By giving your routine a bit of momentum, you don't give them long enough to analyze what they've just seen. Put the coin back into the pocket and push it outwards so that the coin is sharply outlined. And as the left hand brings its finger palmed coin over the outline, the right hand pinches that coin through the pocket. The illusion that the coin has passed through the pocket is perfect. To produce a coin from two cards, begin with the coin in finger palm and ask someone to touch two cards one at a time. I move them forward as I do. Now take the cards from the deck, covering that coin in finger palm as you set the deck down. Pinch the coin below the cards. Showing one card at a time, you could even switch the coin from one hand to the other. Eventually, sandwich the coin between the two cards so that you can magically make money with cards. To perform the phone home pin, begin by putting a dime into finger palm position, followed by the quarter. That kind of locks it in. Then wait till the ideal time to perform the effect. Shake the pin. Then pull off the cap with the left hand. And as you mime the action of shaking something out of the cap, allow the two finger palmed coins to fall into the palm up right hand. I put this in at this point to make you think. If you didn't catch the finger palm which accomplished this effect, it's because you were looking in the wrong place. It isn't the performer who executes the finger palm. It's a secret assistant. That's right, a friend who secretly makes the magic happen. This is one time you, personally, are going to be completely innocent of trickery. So emphasize how fair the coin or ring, watch, or other small object is inside the handkerchief. Have a couple of people check the situation, then finally let your secret helper check. As she does, she just finger palms the object while confirming that yes, it is still there. Then dramatically make the object disappear. To make it reappear again, indicate where it's going to go, cover up, have a couple of people confirm, and again, stop at your helper last. And she simply places the object back into your hand. Obviously, you want to practice passing the object secretly so that ultimately it makes its impossible reappearance. You can produce one coin, two, or as many as you can comfortably handle. To drop one coin at a time from the classic palm, I push the bottom coin back until it breaks free. Then hold it in fingertip rest as the left hand approaches with the coin at its fingertips. Keep the tip of the fingers between the coin and press the coins together with your thumb as you pull the fingertip out. The coins snap together, sounding as if you've broken the coin in two. The second coin, of course, is handled the same way. Drops onto the tips of the fingers. The tip of the finger stays between the two coins as you then snap them together to create the illusion that you've just broken the coin in half. And using the downs palm to pull a coin from a person's ear, you must be aware of his line of vision so that the thumb can conceal the coin from view. If you wanted, you could just point at his ear with your right hand, saying something like, "What's that behind your ear?" and as you reach behind to produce the coin. But I structured this little sequence with two hands, pointing first with the downs palm, then taking something imaginary with the left hand, which happens to be in the same sort of grip as the right hand, which then approaches the person's right ear. A little toss, and then the right hand takes the coin from the other ear. I put it together this way because I found that although the downs palm is a great concealment, if you reach close to a person's face, they tend to look very closely at that approaching hand. After all, the face is such a personal space. But with a two-handed approach, the obviously empty left hand takes most of the heat as the right moves to produce the coin. I used the back clip for the coin from tie, but you could perform this cute effect with a variety of other concealments. The empty left hand approaches first, picking up the tie as the obviously empty right hand joins it. Holding the tie at its end, you begin with the old gag of pulling an invisible thread from someone's tie. If you really pulled a thread from a tie, the tie would wobble as the thread pulled out. To create the illusion that an invisible thread is pulling out, the right fingers just wiggle the tie from below. This is cute for a moment, but then, as a surprise, seem to pull a coin free as you release it from the back finger clip. The view for the person who wears the tie is terrific. We've seen how even basic techniques, such as hiding coins, can create a lot of different magical effects. Now, let's go beyond the technical aspects of magic to the cerebral, the intellectual aspects of deception. You know, dissecting magic theories so it can be analyzed and explained is a little like describing a color or drawing a map of smoke, but it's worth our time because that's the knowledge that transforms simple things that you do with your hands into feelings of astonishment. You know, it sounds so simple, but being natural requires thoughtful examination as to what natural actually is. And then it requires practice for you to act that way without also communicating that something extra is going on at the same time. Being natural can refer to the tone of your voice, how quickly you move, or how much tension you have in your shoulders or your arms, but foremost to coin magic is that the hands look natural. At rest, the hands are soft and tapered, never straight or rigid. The natural thumb is loose and unactive, The thumbs and fingers are slightly curled, tapering in, with the little fingers curling in the most. But don't fully open or fully close your hands. As you palm or hold out, remember the image of naturally soft, curled fingers and practice making your hands look that way. Later, we'll talk about the magic wand and how holding a wand or any other object is your greatest aid when it comes to making the hands look natural. If holding out coins could be compared to putting your toe in the water to see if you like it, this section on false transfers is like jumping totally into the world of sleight of hand. Don't worry, the water's fine. We'll make sure that you never in over your head. Our first false transfer is called the simple take, because you simply take the coin. Of course, in a false transfer, it only seems as if you're taking the coin. As you remember, acting natural is the first rule of sleight of hand, so always really do what you're going to be imitating several times. You must understand the timing of the reality in order to act that way convincingly as you do the false transfer. After all, the only way you can act natural is to know beforehand what natural actually is. So after you do it a few times to find the timing, remind yourself of that image of natural-looking hands. And then simply fake the action of picking the coin up with the right thumb. And as the right hand lifts and closes, the left hand curls into finger palm and drops naturally to the table. Be sure to act as if you have the coin and then pretend it disappears. The simple put is just as easy as the simple take. Only here, the false action is one of putting a coin into the opposite hand. Again, you use the finger palm along with timing and acting to create the deception. Just as before, you'll want to really do the action so you can fully understand the timing and the rhythm. Remember, both the simple take and the simple put can be executed with either hand. The Schneider vanish is a version of the simple put, except that in the Schneider vanish, the fingers are a little more straight, while the coin, or any small object really, is held back with the thumb, as the opposite hand acts as if it receives the object. One of the oldest known false transfers is la tourniquet, or the French drop. As with the others, you can perform this with either hand. The coin is held by the edges between the fingers and thumb, and the opposite hand seems to take the coin into its fist. Actually, as soon as the fingers block the view, the thumb allows the coin to drop inside the hand. Without breaking its flow, the right hand closes and moves away. Allow a brief glimpse of the empty space between the thumb and the fingers as the hand drops away. And as always, really take the coin a couple of times to get the timing down, and then strive to duplicate that timing. Another way to perform this would be to pick the coin off the table in the necessary grip, as you do sort of a combination of putting and taking as you execute the false transfer. The false transfer that I developed for my own use is just a loose version of the reverse French drop. The coin is taken and shown at the fingertips, but it's not held by the thumb. To add movement to the coin so that it seems as if it's traveling someplace, the first and second fingers cause the coin to flip over, as the opposite hand seems to take it away. I've never seen this particular move in print, but There are as many variations of these moves as there are people who have performed them. People always adapt things as their hands and personal style dictate, so feel comfortable doing the same. As soon as you understand why something is done the way it is, modify it any way you like, as long as it gets the job done. The classic fake transfer should make a person feel as if he sees the coin in the hand as it closes. Persistence of vision causes the eye to retain the image of the coin as the hand closes, and that can be very deceptive. Many performers have variations of this, depending on how they hold the coin or approach the hand, or whether you set the coin down this way or that way. But basically, you want the coin to catch their eye, so show as much of the coin as you can. Approach the palm-up hand with the coin and flash the face of the coin. And most important is that the fingers begin to close over the coin before you begin to take the coin back out. The closing fingers block their view of what happens, while implying that the coin has been taken. As soon as the view of the coin is covered, the fingers extend, allowing the coin to rest on their tips. As the hand continues to close, the fingers draw the coin back into the hand. Di Vernon made the point that pivoting the fingers up at the base of the hand provides more cover than simply curling the fingers. And the proper timing, as always, is easier once you really do the move a few times. Another persistence of vision false transfer is the slide vanish. The coin sliding down the hand sure looks like it's going into the opposite hand, but time the turning of your hand so that just as the coin reaches the fingertips, there's enough friction to keep it there, as the opposite hand closes and moves away as if it's taken the coin. The friction palm, as the name would imply, also uses friction as part of the method. This particular application takes place when using 3 or more coins, and for all practical purposes works by itself. Allowing the coins to rest in a stack on the fingers, shove more than toss the coins into the opposite hand, and the bottom coin will stay behind, stuck to the fingers through friction. All you have to do is keep contact with the bottom coin, and then allow the hand holding out to drop naturally to the table as the receiving hand draws the attention. The spider vanish combines technique with acting, timing, and psychology to make it seem as if the coin disappears completely. Duplicating the actions of the French drop, actually take the coin into right hand classic palm, and then mime the actions of throwing the coin away, allowing the right hand fingers to be seen empty through that tossing action. Now, normally, it would be difficult to create belief that a hand which still held the coin was now empty, but here's where the psychology comes in. With just a slightly unnatural grip of the left hand, they will immediately suspect that the coin is actually over there. Now, don't overact here. Just move slightly quicker than normal and slightly close the left hand. Now, as soon as it seems the right hand is empty, they will reflexively suspect anything that's unnatural. Then, just casually show the left hand empty as the right moves on to some continuing action, and they won't have any chance to reconstruct what just might have happened. Once you understand the nature and timing of acting like you put a coin someplace, any of the basic holding out techniques can be used as a fake transfer. Just putting the coin smoothly into thumb palm as you fake putting it into the other hand is a false transfer. Sliding it down, clipping, and doing this. The same is true of the classic palm. Just retaining a coin in classic palm as you mimic the act of putting it into the other hand can be a very deceptive, false transfer of a coin from one hand to another. The techniques you've learned are true building blocks, which can be put together in all sorts of different ways to create all sorts of different effects. For example, it might seem as if these false transfers are only good for making a coin seem to disappear, but that's just the beginning. For example, by having something held out in one hand, you can use these false transfers to change one item into another. For example, you could have 4 quarters finger palmed in the left hand as you fake putting a silver dollar into that hand. Make some gesture to indicate the magic happened, and then show the 4 quarters. Of course, any combination of this type of change-making effect is possible, such as when doing the false transfer with a $50 while holding out 5 dimes. I'm just looking. You know, every table has a soft spot. If you can find it, that seems to be where it is. If I can actually cause the coin to go straight through the table. It's that spot there. You can use any false transfer for the coin through the table. As you direct attention to the hand above the table, the hand holding out goes below. Tap the bottom of the table with the coin in unison with the hand above the table. Roger Klaus came up with a nice touch of adding the sliding sound and snap to emphasize the moment that the coin passes through. You know, if I take a little something from here, and a little something from here, and I squeeze, it changes into a $50. Now, make sure that's exactly what it seems to be, just an American $50. Of course, if I take the coin and give it a squeeze like this, it disappears and comes out my knee. Got a trick knee. If I take it and squeeze, it could come out my elbow just like this. Of course, sometimes I take the coin, I toss it away completely. I say, wait. Oh, there you go. Here, examine this. Doing several effects linked into a quick progressive sequence has become known as a flurry. Here, the finger palm produced the coin. Then, use your favorite fake transfer to make the coin vanish, reappearing behind the knee. Again, it disappears, comes out the elbow, and now the spider vanish goes well in this sort of tight sequence, and then blowing the coin out the nose is sort of a theatrical punctuation mark to conclude. Now, there are many ways to conclude a coin flurry. For example, you could cause the coin to travel invisibly to your pocket, as we saw earlier, and then as it comes through the coin through the pocket, you could at the same time as your hand leaves the pocket secretly remove something else. And then you could use a fake transfer to cause that coin to change into anything else you want. Now, it could be a bigger coin, it could be a cookie, or even an engagement ring. Here, the idea is to transform to conclude. Another idea is to maybe have someone blow a kiss at your hand, only have the coin change into a Hershey's Kiss. So use your imagination, have fun. I'm going to use these 4 coins to do an interesting demonstration of an amazing principle of physics. If I take these 4 coins and I roll my thumbs, one of them vanishes from over here only to reappear over here. Now, I'm not permitted to divulge the secret as to how that works because it's so complicated that I don't even understand it myself. But as soon as I realized that I could take 2 coins over here, 2 coins over here, and cause the coins to travel across, I would laugh and laugh. But you had to be there, I guess. Here, do me a favor. Hold on to my wrist this time and take these 3 coins. Hold on to them. Turn your hand upside down. Go ahead and close it. I'll do it the hard way. Just wiggle your thumb like this. Hey, it worked. See, mine's disappeared. Turn your hand over. Give them a count. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4.
That's great.
Causing 4 coins to magically travel is one of magic's great plots. And this version begins with the friction palm into classic palm to make the first coin travel. Wiggling your thumbs to kind of indicate the moment, the first coin goes across. Then pick up the 3 coins, allowing 1 to go into classic palm. And hold on to it as you dump 2, as if 3, into the left hand. A nice touch here is to hold 1 coin on the fingertips and to allow the classic palm coin to fall against it. The sound implies that the coin just arrived at that moment. Be sure to release the classic palm coin without moving the thumb, and then false transfer into the left hand, which then moves to pick up its second coin. Classic palm this 1 as you pick up the 2 and cause the third coin to travel. Now, in the routine that you've just seen, I held on to the last coin as they held my wrist. Then I added the coin to the 3 as I picked them up and then put them into the spectator's hand. Now, that's rather bold, and you'll want to move confidently while helping them to close their hand. Turning their hand palm down will keep them from opening their hand too soon as you make the final coin reappear in their hand. Now, if that ending makes you nervous, then by all means, conclude the routine by having the final coin reappear just as the others did, audibly, and in your own hands. Misdirection, our second major magic secret, is what helps us fool the mind as well as the eye. Misdirection is the act of controlling a spectator's attention during a performance. I say controlling their attention because it isn't just making them look away when you want them to. It's important to manage their focus at all times so they can appreciate what seems to happen while at the same time not noticing how it actually happened. To misdirect someone, you must occupy their eyes or mind with something interesting. Fortunately, that isn't very hard. Your eyes and face are very important. People will usually look where you look. So never look at your own hands as you execute a move. But you can also misdirect without eye contact. Even people who are staring at your hands will look up if you ask them a question. And no one can pay close attention if they're laughing at something. And when it comes to technical practice, one reason you want to be absolutely certain of your techniques is so that you can do them while still paying close attention to where your spectators are looking. Ultimately, if you learn to lead each technique with your eyes, or a comment, question, or a joke, you will be using one of the major secrets in magic. The magic wand is both symbol and source of power. But the secret reason a magician uses a wand is because holding a wand makes a hand, which is holding out, look more natural. After all, it's vital for our hands to look natural when we secretly hold out. And holding a wand makes even a cramped hand look natural. And the good news is this: it doesn't have to be a wand. anything you hold will help your hand look more natural. So whenever you palm, always give that hand something to hold or do. Pull back your sleeve, hold someone else's wrists, hold a pen or a pencil, display or flip another coin, or pick some coins up from the table. Remember, the real secret of the magic wand has always been to make your hand look natural. So construct your routines so that you're able to hold on to something whenever you're holding out. The false transfers we just learned give us many ways to make a coin disappear. Now we're going to talk about ways to make a coin appear inside of a closed fist. Close your hand into a fist. As you do, the index finger can leave room for the thumb to move out of the way, giving access to the fist. Holding the fist palm down, approach with the coin in classic palm and rub the back of the left fist. As both hands turn over, allow the palmed coin to drop into the fist. Keep the fist as still as possible, resisting any temptation to open and grab. But continue to rub and then act as if the coin just appeared. Now, you could do the La Homme Masqué revolve load with a coin held in thumb palm to begin. But if you have the coin in thumb palm, you might want to load the fist as the professor did, with the fist palm up. As you wave the hand, the fingers just lift slightly, allowing that coin to re-enter the fist. Again, you'll want to minimize the movement of the left fist so that it seems as if the fist were truly clenched. Now, you could also load a coin into your hand as it closes as you just wave. Using either the classic palm or the thumb palm, release the coin under the cover of a magical wave. Of course, you have to perfectly time the release of the coin with the closing of the hand. And be sure to let some time pass before revealing the coin. Let enough time pass and they won't even remember that the hands came close together. Years ago, when I was first learning these techniques myself, I noticed that by seeming to place an invisible coin into my hand, I could secretly load the hand directly from the classic palm without any waving motions. By twisting the left fingers in, they go right under the right hand and directly onto the palmed coin. As the hand closes, the coin went directly into the fist, while the right hand prevented any spectator from seeing the action. Then I noticed that you could do the same things with as many coins as you could comfortably palm. Now, the best part is that you don't have to control the release of the coins from the classic palm. The left fingers literally take the coins from the palm position by pushing them back until they drop. You might want to start out with one coin already in the left hand finger palm, which you can produce first. Now, as you start to remove that coin, you begin your multiple production. This copper coin comes from England, and this is an American $50. Watch as I hold the copper tight. Silver, 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 change. Now it's copper, the silver, having traveled invisibly inside the fist. Using any two coins that are clearly different, false transfer so that the coin ends up in classic palm. Make certain they understand what coin is left. Silver, silver. Then thumb palm that coin. The fingers which curl one coin into thumb palm can then carry the other coin out of classic palm. Then briskly load the coin into the other hand, pause just a moment, then conclude the effect. The simple act of producing a coin from nothing can be quite magical. And when you complete the circle by making it disappear, you performed a one-act play. You already know how to make the coins appear. Now, to make the coin disappear, you'll need to be wearing a jacket or a shirt with a breast pocket. To make this easier, you can hold the pocket open with a handkerchief or a cloth. Then, do the thumb palm transfer. Leaving the coin in right-hand thumb palm, they'll think it's here, and under cover of pulling back the sleeve, drop the coin into your breast pocket. Although this method of making a coin disappear has been around for a long time, it will still fool professional magicians if used at the right time. Timing can be put to such valuable use that it's considered one of magic's major secrets. Timing is used in humor, giving punch to a joke, but timing is also important in deception. For example, we've already seen how, through misdirection, magic techniques are easier to conceal during an offbeat. But that's just the beginning. One of my favorite quotes comes from expert at the card table, the resourceful magician. Failing to improve the method changes the moment. This eloquently tells us to experiment with time. When should you perform? And what is the best moment to execute the techniques? If you need to hide coins in your hand, waiting to perform, how far ahead can you be ready with those coins? When asked how long you should be willing to wait for the right time to do something, magician Max Malini said, "You wait a week." So consider time a weapon. Also, be ahead, but always be willing to wait and be willing to think about what might be the most effective moment to execute any technique. You've learned to hide coins, to fake transfers, and you've learned to secretly load a closed fist. Now, we'll talk about coins that are definitely inside the fist. And even though no fingers move, the coin disappears. This is the first of several techniques, all of which begin with a coin in a fist held palm down. The coin is secretly moved until it's pinched by the tips of the fingers against the base of the fist. Keep finger movement as minimal as possible and occupy their mind by saying something interesting. As you point with your right hand, the thumb is against the middle finger. Time the positioning of the right hand with the turn of the left hand, and the right thumb can clip the coin without being seen and without moving a finger. Another way to steal a coin which is clipped is to cover the stealing by pointing at the hand. This time, as the fingers of the pointing hand extend in order to take the clipped coin between the ring and little fingers, it's the point that covers. Now, this is a fairly bold steal. By pointing, you're drawing attention to where the move is actually taking place at the exact moment that you do it. So timing and technique have to be perfect. And you can still draw attention away by not looking there yourself as you do the move. Now this time I'm going to move so slow that you'll know that I'm not going to cheat. You know that the coin is in the hand. Nothing here, nothing on the back, no fingers move. But if I give it a little squeeze like this, did you see? It changed. I'll never forget being shown this trick as a little boy by someone in a magic shop. For weeks, I would daydream about metal that could magically change its shape. Now, when I finally discovered that the real secret was much more simple than my daydream methods, I wasn't disappointed because I could still remember what the effect could be on someone watching. As it turns out, the key is cleverly hidden, partly behind the coin and partly behind the thumb. As you close your fingers around the coin, it sure looks as if nothing but the coin is there. Now notice that I don't say, see, the coin is still there, as that subtly telegraphs that the coin might disappear, while giving a slight challenge to the situation. It might be good to call a different kind of attention to it by saying, even though it looks normal, by closing it into my hand, and then you work the coin into clip position, being careful not to make any noise, and then steal the coin away as you point. Act out the magic a little, and then show the transformation. One thing that I like to do to kind of add to the deception is after the coin goes into the hand, you see the key would be down here. When I do the steal, I take the coin out, and then for the transformation, I shift the key so that when the hand turns over, it seems as if the key doesn't even fit inside of the hand. If I close my hand and you know that the coin is in the hand, here, I tell you what, you can even hold on to my wrist. To make it really disappear, I need something special. I need a little bit of woofle dust. Gathered from a dusty woofle. And if I just dribble it like that, did you see? It disappears. With gone, you do a similar sort of steal, only it's completely gone. As you close the hand and you work the coin to the heel of the hand, as you ask the spectator to hold your wrist, you actually take the coin into the right hand as you say, hold on to my wrist. And from that point, you can drop it into your pocket, you can reproduce it from somewhere else, or in some cases, you could even go ahead and drop that coin into your sleeve as you tell them to hang on to your wrist as the coin completely disappears from a closed fist. That's my Minuteman coin.
It is?
Yes, you know why I call it my Minuteman coin?
No.
Well, it just takes a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. See, if I were to take this coin and place it into my hand and close it slowly, nothing happens. You know why?
Why?
Because a minute hasn't passed. But if a minute had passed, here, I'll tell you what, why don't you go ahead and hold on to my wrist. See, if a minute had passed, I just cast a little shadow, watch and listen. Did you hear it? There it is.
I hear it now.
Yeah, that means the coin is gone. See, it's disappeared completely. Let's see, and here is where it went.
Wow.
There you go. That's why I call it my Minuteman coin.
Huh.
What I like about this application is that the coin doesn't just reappear. It reappears in what seems to be, for all practical purposes, an impossible location. Granted, it isn't as impossible a location as maybe being baked in a loaf of bread or something like that, but it seems impossible because they feel they've been watching everything, which would naturally include watching your watch. This time, the coin is dropped from clip position into the right fingers just as the fist is being turned palm up. The coin slides along the turning fist where it's then pushed underneath the wristwatch. Now, my watch has a countdown alarm, so I can use that as part of the effect. And if your watch has a lot of metal that can make a sound as you load, you might want to use double-stick tape to cover the back of your watch with velvet. Once you do, Every time you wear your watch, you'll be ready to perform a mini miracle. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. The secret to effective practice is to understand what it is that you're practicing. Do the move in reality in order to know what the timing is really like. Then practice it 10 times in a row. Always give something at least one set of 10 tries, and if you need to, do another set of 10. When your false transfer looks the same as your real transfer, you'll know you're there. To make sure what you're doing looks natural, practice in front of a mirror or a video camera. For technical practice, put coins into and out of all of the grips we've studied. As exercise, keep coins in your hand during the day and move them from position to position. If you practice thoughtfully, you will get better at anything. To improve your classic palm, palm a coin all day long. Palm as you drive, work, and socialize. Once you can forget you're palming a coin, you'll know you've got a good palm. And finally, while you may not want to write a script for social performances, always know what you're going to say as you go into a performance and what you'll say to conclude it. Otherwise, it's practice that will make you comfortable enough to improvise what you say if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. I wonder which one of your hands is the quickest.
I think my right.
Your right hand? Let's practice once. Tell you what I want to do. I want to drop a coin into your hand. Close your hand as quick as you can. Let's see how fast you are. That's very fast. You're the perfect choice for this. I'm going to put all 5 coins into your hand. One at a time so that there's no question. When the 5th coin gets in there, I want you to hold them tight, okay?
Okay.
There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. Turn your hand upside down. I'm going to hold my hand as tightly as you hold your hand. Now, what I'm going to try and do, now, I'm not going to go after the coin against your fingers because you're holding it so tight. And not the one against your palm because, well, Lord knows where that's been, right? That coin. Now, the one in the center, that's the one I want to go for. Coin number 3. Now, all I have to do is rub the back of your hand. Now, turn your hand over. See, if I rub this way and snap, it happened. You see?
Okay.
I got it. That's the one from the center. See if I got it. See if you have 4 left.
Oh, my God.
By golly, I got the one I got.
Cookie.
People love to be part of the magic. Making a coin disappear out of someone's hand hits them right where they live. In fact, this simple effect is the kind of magic that people talk about years after the experience occurred. All you need is a spectator, 5 coins, timing, and a little nerve. After you've done it a couple of times, you'll realize that nerve is less important than timing. After the spectator examines the coins, take 3 in your left hand and 2 in your right. Begin counting the coins into their hand and, with a rhythm, alternate hands. Now, on the 4th coin, 1, 2, 3, 4, the right hand doesn't let go of the coin. You just make a sound with it. Then pull it back into your hand as if doing the classic false transfer. However, the sound of the coin combined with the timing creates a perfect illusion. Then on the final coin, the left hand releases from just a few inches above their palm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you've conditioned them to quickly close their hand, they'll be so busy concentrating on that that they never even consider, much less notice, that one coin isn't there. After all, you haven't told them a coin is going to disappear out of their hand. Only after they've closed their hand and you've moved the coin into classic palm do you begin to noticeably consider which coin you're going to remove from their hand. The intent of the presentation is to make them remember that a specific coin disappeared from their hand and reappeared inside your closed fist. Close your hand, palm down, just as they've done, and then rub the back of their hand. You're going to revolve load your hand as you occupy their mind with misdirection. So rub their hand, and so the timing of the misdirection will be right. Tell them to turn their hand over as you move towards your own. That way, go ahead and turn your hand over. They should be occupied with turning their hand over at the exact moment that you do the revolve load. To be sure your misdirection is properly timed, always occupy their mind before you do the secret move. I'll show you once more. Go ahead and turn your hand over. There you go. To conclude, emphasize that a specific coin arrived in your hand as they discover they only have 4. Try this out. You'll be surprised by the reaction. I'm going to use these coins to illustrate a famous story about a magician who had 6 sheep. This will be these 6 coins. And there were 2 thieves in this story, and these will be the thieves. Now the thieves wanted to steal the sheep, so they hid in the magician's barn. See, the magician had 2 barns, so 1 thief in each barn. Now I want you to watch everything that this barn does. Now you're watching that one, and you watch this one closely, and here's what happened. They hid inside the barn, and they waited, and then they started sneaking out and taking the sheep one at a time. And it looked like they were going to get them all, but then they heard something. They stopped to make sure that the magician wasn't coming. Actually, they said, look, maybe we better put him back just to make sure. There you go, and we'll wait. And they waited and waited, and they said, now's our chance. And sure enough, they started sneaking back out, taking the sheep, hiding them in the barn, ready to take them. One final look to make sure that nobody was coming, and they snagged the last sheep. But before they realized it, the magic happened. There, in an instant, both of the thieves end up locked in one of the barns, while safe and sound, all 6 sheep were in the other barn. Isn't that neat? This great little routine requires no sleight of hand, so you can focus entirely on clearly communicating what seems to happen. Using only 8 coins that are the same, start with 1 coin in each hand, representing the thieves. Begin with the left hand, picking the coins up. The left, alternating with the right, and stop when 1 coin is left. Then begin putting back with the right hand. The alternating left and right rhythm implies even distribution. But since your pickups began with the left hand and your givebacks begin with the right hand, things are not even. Again, begin the second phase with the left hand. You begin with 2 in the left. And when you alternate like this, and during this pickup, the left hand gets 3, and the right hand 2. Pause a moment as you look for the magician. They forget. It's now the right hand's turn. So the left hand scoops up the last coin, and the end result is so amazing, 2 in the right, and 6 in the left, that I'm going to give you a 30-second review on how that just happened. Again, 1 in each hand, 6 in a row. Begin with the left. Stop with 1 showing, and then put back, beginning with the right. Now, with apparently 1 in each hand, actually 2 only in the left, the left begins again. Stop with one showing, then take the final coin with the left hand, make the magic happen, and then show the thieves in the right barn while all the sheep are safe in the left. Repetition is important to learning, so practice often and review all this information frequently. You'll be surprised at how much new information you'll see with each viewing. But before you go, I wanted to share a few final thoughts you might find handy. First, when it comes to magic, people are going to say, "How did you do that?" or "Do that again." Now, sometimes when they say this, they actually want you to do it again. And sometimes they actually care about how it's done. But most of the time, they just don't know what else to say. You don't have to meet either of these questions head on. You can volunteer to show another trick, or say the person who taught you made you promise to only do it once. Now, if you'd like, you can make me that promise now, so you'll be telling the truth. And you can toss back, "How did you do that?" by saying, "Hey, I'm glad you like that. You know, what did you like about it?" Or, "Hey, that's pretty neat, isn't it?" One cliche is to say, "Can you keep a secret?" "So can I." Now, ultimately, though, you can minimize problems by using presentations that keep magic fun, as opposed to being a challenge. And be ready to turn certain reflexive questions into friendly conversation. Professional courtesy. You may not be a professional magician, but you now possess professional secrets. That's only fair to treat them with respect. Never reveal secrets just to profit or be popular or to satisfy curiosity. But while that side of professional courtesy is typically obvious to everyone, there is another, less obvious type of courtesy. With this magical information, you can perform magic almost any time, any place. You could even perform while sitting in the front row of a professional magician's performance, but it's not even polite to perform in the lobby of another magician's venue. Even in the loose atmosphere of a magic bar, the polite thing is to ask if you can perform something when you're on another magician's turf. When I was younger, I was so passionate about magic that I eagerly performed whenever I could and wanted to meet every magician I saw, but looking back, I know I was too eager at times. And I now realize the protocol of respecting the space of a professional is simply the polite thing to do. The final courtesy I'd like you to consider is that if you can't find something nice to say about other magicians, try not to say anything. Once your friends recognize your interest in magic, they'll always ask your opinion of magicians they see on television or on stage. If that magician was bad, it should go without saying, but if there's something good to say, why not say it? In the end, I'm not saying you should mislead people, but every time I've seen a magician criticizing another magician in public, both people end up looking bad. Constructive criticism in private has its place, but I've never seen negative criticism achieve positive results. Practice improves any performance, but you can never break the law of gravity. Even professionals drop coins. So if you drop a coin in a performance, don't get flustered. Nobody's offended if somebody makes a slip. But if they see that it has made you uncomfortable, then they get uncomfortable. Put things quickly into perspective with some reflexive response, such as, "Hey, did somebody turn up the gravity in here?" Or, "I just washed those coins and I can't do anything with them." Or, "That's the first time that's happened again." Or, "Wow, thank goodness that floor was there. That might still be falling." There are also some classic techniques for dealing with coins on the floor. you might pick the coin up only to make it disappear completely. Here, you just step close to the coin, and as you seem to pick it up, just flick it underneath your foot. Then pretend to throw it away. Bad coin. But if you need to actually retrieve the coin, you could act as if you drive the coin all the way through your body only to have it reappear under your foot. Another approach to a coin on the floor is to make it disappear only to reappear behind your knee. Here, as you pick up the coin, toss it between your legs into the other hand. Now there's a rhythm to this, but they won't expect you to be doing something at that point. If you want to reproduce the coin, you can do so from any place, or you could secretly drop the coin into your pants pocket. Most important is that you keep everybody comfortable by showing that you've got something to do or say, even under what seems like unexpected circumstances. And you can do this by being prepared for the fact that, yes, gravity does happen. Now, if you get nervous as you perform, use it as a learning experience. Study the feeling. Maybe it's just adrenaline, which is nature's way of giving you a little extra juice so you can do your best. So don't mistake excitement for fear or the thrill of the event with butterflies. Or you might decide that all you need is more practice. Confidence, like muscles, can be built up. Practice until you know that routine perfectly, and everyone, you included, will have a good time. With a few deep breaths and an opening effect you're certain of, you'll find the opening moments will fly by, and you'll be surprised how comfortable you'll feel. In the end, you'll either realize that what you feel isn't butterflies, it's nature's energy, or you practice until your butterflies are flying in formation. Or you could set those butterflies free by remembering to just have fun. After all, having fun is the whole point. Have fun as you practice, and have fun performing and sharing your magic. Magic is meant to be shared. So strike up a conversation with a stranger if you have to, and when you do, be natural. Thanks for being here.